Hey everybody, it's Adrian the Rad Gamer, and man oh man am I a Generation 8 fanboy.
Yup, there was the good, the bad, the ugly, the atrocious. What the fuck?!
Being such a big fan of Generation 8, I got a ton of its games.
And even though I'm such a big fan of Generation 8, doesn't mean I own every console except for the PlayStation Vita.
I own every console in Generation 8 except for the PlayStation Vita. Well, while I'm swimming in debt, let's reflect on all of this.
Sup, my dudes. It's finally time that game companies start showing their new consoles for the 2020s. Everybody's trying to get their hype up for their new console. Even recently, about 2 days ago, PlayStation revealed the PlayStation 5. And even though it was a logo, fans still went crazy, and I mean, really? And yeah, I understand that seeing a new console is pretty hype, but it's just logos. I mean, the PS2 and the PlayStation Portable do have different logos, and the current day PlayStation logo is established on the PS3. But are people really expecting the PlayStation 5 logo to look like this? I hope not! And with all this talk about new consoles, I want to take a look at the consoles from yesteryear, one last time before we put them in our closets.
These are just going to be short summaries on them, like how they did at the beginning, their sales, their launch titles, the recognition, and I'm just going to talk about how they ended up overall in my certain opinion on these.
Before we start, here's 3 things. 1. If you're a PlayStation Vita fan, I am so sorry. 2. I'm not adding the Nintendo Switch. You might say that the Nintendo Switch is the outcome of the Wii not being able to sell anything, just like the outcome of the United States killing an Iranian general to cause World War III. Can't wait for that COD game to come out. Even when the Nintendo Switch first came out in 2017, I always thought it was sort of like a Generation 9 console. Now yes, you could argue with me in the comments, but that's just my certain opinion. And hey, on the internet, you can have your own opinion. I'm sorry, I lied. And number 3. Just fuck Google Stadia. I don't know, the Google Stadia always seemed more plug and play to me than actually buying consoles that collect dust and spending your life income on games instead of buying food. But without further ado, the Nintendo 3DS was first revealed at E3 2010, and later the following year came out February 26. And I gotta say, people were really hyped for this console at launch.
I can't wait to get my hands on that. That's fine, Nintendo always delivers when new consoles come out. Well, I can finally say it. Buying spoiled milk is a better cost than the 3DS.
Yeah, 3DS is what us 3DS fans like to call a botch release, but that didn't make it sell more units than the population of Rhode Island itself. Now we can joke all we want, but let's be serious. The Nintendo 3DS is just a great console. It had so many good games. Like, honestly. But Generation 9 isn't just the end of the 3DS line. It's the end of the entire Nintendo handheld line. Even though I had DS's prior than the 3DS, I always had more fun with the 3DS. This is actually where I started up my YouTube career, making videos like stop motion, skits, gameplays. It was all fun.
Oh, hi, I'm Adrian Gamer. And second, and we're gonna take a selfie.
I gotta say, for a paperweight, the Nintendo 3DS is gonna have a good afterlife. Ew. Yeah, I'll just keep this brief as possible. I never had no experience with the PlayStation Vita ever. So, here's its launch titles, its sales numbers, and my personal opinion, I never played it. Now, if you're a PlayStation Vita fan, tell me how your experience was in the comments below. But before I move on to the next console...
Did anybody ever pronounce it Vita?
Nice. Okay, we could joke all we want about the Wii U, about its price, its stupid features, its dumb games, its terrible marketing. But I just love the Wii U so much. Like, was I the only person that ever used the TV button? As a 7-year-old that would always lose his TV remote, this was pretty good. Also, for a kid that didn't have a phone until they were 10, the Wii had this option to video chat your friends. And for a console with a lot of useless gadgets, these are pretty phenomenal. The Wii never did that well though. Instead of being a successor to the Wii, it always seemed like a second Wii to buy. Not just its own console itself, just a revision, and that's one of the many reasons why it failed, and I stated the other ones earlier. However, the Wii U was pretty good. There's also no point for the Wii existing since most of its main games that are popular now on the Nintendo Switch, and the Nintendo Switch has sequels to those games on the Wii U. But the Wii was just something else that I just really liked, and I wish it had more love than just me. If I was 9 years old, I would have put this at the top of Generation 8. However, I gotta be the 14-year-old I am and accept that the Wii U failed. But had you ever wanted a console like the Wii U, but it was like a game PC with no games, well, I feel like when Microsoft made the Xbox One, it went a little something like this. Alright everybody, we did really good for the first Xbox. And for the Xbox 360, we got beat by the PlayStation and Wii. But, well, let me tell you, for our next Xbox, we're gonna do this pro gamer move, which I like to call, we're gonna up. No, I'm not gonna say the Xbox One was a bad console. I'm just not gonna say it was a great console. I mean, I don't even think Microsoft think they did well with this one. Like, for the longest time, you had to have the Kinect connected to the Xbox One at all times. When Microsoft was discussing what they shouldn't have for the Xbox One, they had a complete aneurysm and circled used games. That means that any sap that picks up a game a bit after to see the price go down, the game's pretty much useless because, well, it was pre-owned, so it can't even work. Thank God Microsoft took this feature out because, well, a lot of people like to buy games after huge price cuts because even though some games are fun to buy when they first come out, it's just way better to wait for a good deal. But even though we talked a lot of smack about the Xbox One, it still did good. Here's its launch titles, and it used to be the second best-selling console this console generation. And the Nintendo Switch beat it, and do you see why I didn't have it on? Even though I much rather play Nintendo consoles or PlayStation consoles, I gotta say, the Xbox One is a pretty powerful console. But what's the point of all that power if there's nothing to play? I mean, sure, Microsoft has Forza and Halo, but if you look at all the IPs that Microsoft has, Jesus Christ, that's not even all of them, and that's more than the Xbox One has. I mean, it has Cuphead. It had Cuphead. Would I rate the Xbox as everybody's opinion on the Wii U? No. Would I rate it on my opinion on the PS Vita? No. Would I rate it on everybody's opinion, including mine, on the Google Stadia? I am so sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that was just incredibly racist. Now I might say, Adrian the Rat Gamer, how can the Google Stadia be racist? But that's the point. It's racist without being racist. So, only if there was a way that I can cover for what I did, because I have sinned. I am so sorry, everybody. Yeah. PlayStation did the unthinkable, folks. They were from the PlayStation 3 to the PlayStation 4, who would have known? PlayStation also had this thing that the Xbox One and Wii U didn't have. Games! The PlayStation 4 has had so many classic games. The PlayStation 4 didn't have good launch titles like the Xbox One, but what it did have was amazing sales until probably 3 months into Nintendo Switch beats it. One thing PlayStation 4 is going for is that's the first official use for futuristic VR, and I gotta say, it's honestly really good. I actually personally own one of these myself, and I gotta say, if you're looking for Oculus Quest, but you don't want to spend a lot of money for a PC, this is just for you. But ladies and gentlemen, it is finally time. The moment you've been waiting for. Adrian the Rat Gamer's best home console and handheld of Generation 8. For home consoles, the PlayStation 4. For handhelds, the Nintendo 3DS.
But I mean, it's kind of obvious to me, why wouldn't it be? That's like a pro athlete with a million fans versus an athlete that's kind of good, but its only supporter is a small.
Oh no, I'm gonna miss this generation of gaming. You might just say, why would I? It's just video games. Well, that's the thing, it's video games, but this was basically my life from 2010 to 2019, from when I was 5 to 14. So I'm gonna really miss this generation of gaming. It really captured who I am. A rad gamer. But hey, Microsoft noticed I was an up-and-coming YouTuber, so they sent me one of their exclusives for, well, it'll be cross-platform by the time, but they sent me one of their launch titles for the Xbox Series X. So let's just Oh, then what they sent. I'm sorry, folks. We joke about this a lot, World War III memes, but what if something really happens? Well, I'm not going to stand for that, because I might just be a rad gamer, but I'm also a patriot. So if you need me, I'm going to deal with this war. You could tell your grandkids how I, Adrian the Rad Gamer, stopped two wars from fighting. Go capitalism!